Time Loop Joseon Korea Old Kingdom Maid of Mobius 41-50. Part 5 Rewriting Destiny's Script. 41st episode. The final script is complete. Eun-chan calmly accepted her destiny. She resolved to use the loops not merely for survival, but as a means for system collapse and reorganization. She poured all her wisdom into perfecting this final loop, which would be her last. This script was not just a story, it was a blueprint for Joseon's new future. She spent sleepless nights diligently writing the last pages. 42nd episode. Designing a new order. Eun-chan utilized the loops to purge corrupt officials within the palace and design a new order of power. She eliminated Grand Minister Yoon's remaining loyalists and proposed rational policies for the welfare of the people. She guided the crown prince towards the righteous path of succession, offering her final advice for Joseon's future. Under her direction, the palace began to undergo drastic changes. The ministers, though bewildered, were awestruck by her wisdom. 43rd episode. The final confrontation with the crown prince. At the very moment the final loop was about to end, Eun-chan faced the crown prince. They engaged in a last conversation, a confrontation over the succession to the throne and the future of Joseon. The crown prince desperately wanted to prevent Eun-chan's sacrifice, but Eun-chan had already accepted her fate. "Your Royal Highness, my sacrifice is for the better future of this nation. Please let me go." She persuaded him that her sacrifice was for Joseon's greater good. Tears streamed down the crown prince's face. 44th episode. Eun-chan's cry of despair. Eun-chan could not accept Eun-chan's sacrifice. He refused to leave her side, resisting fiercely to protect her. Tears of blood streamed from his eyes. He confessed his love for Eun-chan, pleading with her not to disappear, but fate turned its back on him. Court Lady Eunbi. "No, Eun-chan, I love you, please, don't leave me." His desperate cries echoed in the empty throne hall. 45th episode. Princess Haejong's sad smile. Princess Haejong shared Ji-jun's agony, witnessing Eun-chan's sacrifice. She remembered the freedom and love Eun-chan had given her in Ji-jun, resolving to build a new era, so that Eun-chan's sacrifice would not be in vain. Her face held a mix of sorrow and strong resolve. She took Ji-jun's hand and said, "Eunbi-uni's sacrifice must not be in vain. We must change this world." 46th episode. The Queen's profound grief. The Queen had regained her son, but seeing Eun-chan's sacrifice, she wept tears of profound grief. She realized how much suffering her past misdeeds and foolish desire for revenge had caused. She vowed to forever remember Eun-chan's sacrifice and, with a repentant heart, promised to become a new mother for Joseon. Her son embraced the Queen, comforting her. "Mother, please do not cry anymore." What Eunbi-nim wished for was a world filled with laughter. 47th episode. A name erased from history. The moment the loop completely ended, Eun-chan's body shattered into particles of light and vanished. She was erased from Joseon's historical records. Her name, her existence, all the miracles and sacrifices she had wrought, it was as if they had never been. No one remembered her, only the crown prince, Young, Ji-jun, Princess Haejong, and the Queen remembered her sacrifice, enduring their pain. Yet, even they could not recall her name or precise face, only a faint shadow, and the lingering sorrow she left behind. 48th episode. The birth of a new king. The crown prince ascended the throne and began to build a new Joseon, as envisioned by Eun-chan. He implemented rational policies for the welfare of the people, and prevented the tyranny of powerful figures like Grand Minister Yoon. He diligently worked to ensure Eun-chan's sacrifice was not in vain, becoming a king revered by his people. His reign was peaceful and prosperous. However, he would often gaze at the night sky, finding an unidentifiable longing in the faint glimmer of stars. 49th episode. The memories of those left behind. A new era dawned, yet deep in the hearts of Young Ji-jun and Princess Haejong, a profound longing and sadness for Eun-chan remained. They lived on, remembering Eun-chan, unable to speak of her existence to anyone, but cherishing her memory. Young Ji-jun unconsciously frequented the places he had been with Eun-chan and Princess Haejong. Overcome by an inexplicable sorrow, carefully preserved fragments of the script Eun-chan had written. They remembered Eun-chan, striving to create the world she had envisioned. They comforted each other's wounds, continuing their lives with the final gift Eun-chan had given them, love. 50th episode. Destiny's conclusion. Decades passed since the crown prince ascended the throne. The people lived in peace and prosperity. One day, an aged and weary Young Ji-jun visited the wall where Eun-chan had first appeared, accompanied by Princess Haejong, now an elderly woman herself. The wall bore the undeniable marks of time, and a small wildflower bloomed at its base. Ji-jun knelt, gently touching the wildflower. Unbidden tears streamed from his eyes. Princess Haejong quietly sat beside him, taking his hand. They could not recall Eun-chan's name, but the profound sense of her sacrifice and love remained vivid. They looked at each other, acknowledging they were the only ones to remember their beloved. Hidden in the annals of history, they lived on, forever cherishing the memory of a forgotten existence. At the spot where Eun-chan had vanished, only a worn script remained. Its last page read, 50th episode ending phrase, Court Lady Eunbi vanished, but the history she rewrote remained. And on the first page of that history, there were the sorrowful tears of a man who remembered her. Those tears would flow, forever. Character introductions. Here are the key characters from Time Loop Joseon Maid of Mobius. Go Eun-chan, 28 years old. A struggling modern-day McJang drama writer. After a tragic accident, she transmigrates into the body of Eunbi, a low-ranking palace maid in Joseon. Armed with her extensive knowledge of drama clichés and plot twists, she quickly realizes she's trapped in a time loop centered around the crown prince's assassination. Initially overwhelmed by repeated deaths, she resolves to use her writer's instinct to manipulate events and rewrite her own destiny and that of Joseon. She evolves from a helpless extra to a skilled manipulator of fate. Crown Prince He, the target of repeated assassination attempts, and a central figure in the palace's conspiracies. He carries a deep sense of unease about his true identity and worthiness to be king, which Eun-chan will later discover is linked to a hidden birth secret and a royal curse. He is initially skeptical of Eun-chan but gradually comes to rely on her uncanny foresight, forming a complex alliance that wavers between trust and suspicion. His journey involves confronting uncomfortable truths about himself and his lineage. Queen Kong, the stern and seemingly emotionless queen, she is the orchestrator of the time loop, which she created to correct a past mistake related to the crown prince's assassination attempts. Beneath her cold exterior lies a profound maternal grief and a desire for revenge over her lost son. Eun-chan will gradually uncover her hidden sorrow and manipulate her complex emotions to gain her as an unlikely, yet powerful, ally in the fight against Grand Minister Yoon. Grand Minister Yoon, the most powerful and corrupt figure among the queen's maternal relatives, holding immense influence within the palace. He is the mastermind behind the deeper conspiracies exploiting the crown prince's true birth secret to secure royal power for his own family. He is driven by insatiable greed, embezzling funds and pilfering royal treasures, and uses manipulation and threats to maintain his control. Eun-chan systematically dismantles his power by exposing his misdeeds. Royal Guard Eun-gi-jun, a steadfast and loyal royal guard, assigned to the crown prince, later to Eun-chan. He is a man of integrity, but struggles with a hidden, unrequited love for Princess Haejong. This deep affection makes him vulnerable but also fiercely devoted. Eun-chan leverages his love for Princess Haejong to gain his loyalty, turning him into a crucial ally who is willing to risk everything to protect those he cares about.